Thank you guys for joining us. You know, as we do it, so we're going to take the national anthem. Thank you everyone for joining us. Now I will be speaking as the president of the Young Yoruba for Freedom. I will be responding to the interview made by Mr. Buhari, and then we will be discussing, more importantly, on certain key takeaway from the Buhari shocking interview. Now, some of the outrageous statements that Mr. Buhari made, now I need to point them out to you so that you get a grasp of what he said. In one instance, he said, we will organize the police and the military to pursue them. He was making reference to the hypo. And in another instance, he was referring to the Hausa people. He said, well, I have now told the military and the police to be brutal. From now, we will speak the language they understand, and in the coming weeks, you will get exactly what I am saying. This is what you get when you put a foreigner as the leader of your country. Everyone knows that the Fulani in Nigeria are not indigenous to that country. Nigeria is a country of 15 nations. The Fulani are not part of the indigenous nations within Nigeria. The Fulani actually came from Senegal and Gambia, but they were deliberately handed over power to by the English colonial Turks, so that they can serve as the proxy of the English to steal predominantly the God-given wealth and resources of the Yoruba nation. There is no president of a democratic nation who will openly say that he will organize the police and the military in his home country to kill the indigenous people of that country. This is what Mr. Buhari said yesterday. And it is because he is not indigenous to Nigeria. If the Yoruba are killed, it doesn't concern him because he's not a Yoruba citizen. If the Igbo are alienated, he's not bothered because he's not Igbo. If the Hausa people are massacred, he's not perturbed because he's not Hausa. If the Kanuri people are continued to be alienated, he will not be disturbed. There is no democratic nation on planet Earth where its president will say that he will use the police and the military within his country to kill the inhabitant of that country. This statement alone is sufficient for Mr. Buhari to be impeached by the National Assembly. I want to say this emphatically. There is no president in any country who will use the police and the military of his country to kill his own subject, the electorate who voted for him. And that is exact thing Mr. Buhari has stated. If you look at the Fulani in Nigeria, they are not as sophisticated as the white Americans. The Fulani in Nigeria is not as sophisticated as the Chinese. They don't have any brain that is exceptional. Yet, they have been able to rule in Nigeria because of the English establishment. The English will never say publicly by their prime minister that they will kill the Scottish people who are asking for a referendum to get out of the United Kingdom. How can a sitting president say that we will organize the police and the military to pursue them? I have now told the military he has started and the police to be brutal because it's Fulani, because it's not indigenous to Nigeria. Nigeria is not Fulani homeland. The military and the police in Nigeria are used by the English to get coercion from the likes of the Yoruba people, using Fulani as their proxy. Fulani in Nigeria are actually colonial officers. When the English came in 1851 and enslaved the people of Nigeria, first the Yoruba people, they came with their own people, English white skin. When they left in 1960, they handed over power to their proxy, the Fulani, to continue to operate as the colonial officer with a different skin color. That is the more reason a sitting president in a country will say that he will use police and military to kill the people who voted for him, simply because they are asking for their right to decide whether they want to be part of Nigeria or not. The English that are using the Fulani, how come they are not killing the Scottish who want out of the United Kingdom? When you put foreigners in the governance of your country, it is the stupid statement from Buhari that you will get. Why do you think Buhari is bold to say all of this? Because the English are still enslaving you. It is the reality. Who are the concessionaires managing your crude oil? English. Who are managing your waterways? English. Who are the people you buy weapons from? English. English are still enslaving you. That's why Buhari is so bold to say nonsense. He will never say that if he's a Hausa man, or a Yoruba man, or a Kanuri man, or an Igbo man, or an Ijaw man. He won't say that because these nations that I've mentioned are indigenous to Nigeria. They will not say openly that they will use the police to kill their people. I have asked this several times. Name one country on this planet Earth that the Nigerian military has ever gone to war with. Name that country. None. Zero. You look at America, their military have gone to war with several different countries. Their military don't kill American people on American soil. Even the English that are using the Fulani to kill people in Nigeria, their home military don't kill their own citizens in their country. Their home military go out to kill for their country. Nigerian military has never fought a single war with any other country, but every time Nigerian military are killing people inside Nigeria, that is the more legitimate reason we must decentralize the military. Imagine if the crisis that is going on in Igbo land happened under a devolved power in which the Igbo have a prime minister who is the leader of the Igbo region, and their parliament, the Igbo parliament, control the military, control the legitimate use of monopoly of power within Igbo land. Do you think that their prime minister will stand to grant an interview and says that he will organize the police and the military to kill Igbo people who are protesting? He will never say that. But we put the power of the guns in the hands of the president of Nigeria, and Igbo brought this about. That's why when you have a president like a Fulani who is not indigenous to Nigeria, he kills. They have been doing this for forever. When the English left in 1960, they handed over power to the Fulani who are not from Nigeria. 1962, over 15,528 Yoruba were killed because we protested on our streets when Awolowo was arrested. During the June 12 crisis between 1993 and 1998, More than 16,000 Yoruba children, women, and men were killed by the Fulani and the Igbo. The statement of Buhari that he will organize the police and the military to pursue them and to be brutal against the people of Nigeria is a legitimate reason for us to decentralize the military. If we decentralize the military, the president of Nigeria, whether it's Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, will not be able to use the legitimate monopoly of power to kill anybody in any region. Imagine Tinubu as the prime minister of Yoruba land, a full-blooded Yoruba citizen, and there is crisis, protest across Yoruba land, and Tinubu will now say that he will use the police and the military to kill Yoruba people. It will never be unheard of. He will be impeached the same day. He will be impeached. It is English that are given Fulani boldness. There is no, the president of India will never speak like that. The president of Russia will never speak like that. The Prime Minister Boris Johnson in England will never speak like that. There have been protests in this country that has led to destruction. You will never hear their Prime Minister say that they will kill them with police and the military. How can you have a military in Nigeria that has never fought a single war? The essence of military is for external aggression. External aggression. If anybody is bringing war to Nigeria, it is the military in Nigeria that should be mobilized to fight that external aggression. But the military have always been killing people in Nigeria. And you continue to grandstand, you continue to ignore this reality. It is English that are responsible for the problem that is going on in Nigeria, the killing, the extrajudicial killing. It is the government in England that must be blamed. They are the ones supporting minority Fulani because Fulani are their proxy. Fulani are stealing the wealth of the Yoruba people to fund economic growth and development in England. All of the beautiful economic growth you see across in England, it is Yoruba money that is funding it. England have crude oil, but we Yoruba are not in charge of their crude oil. We have crude oil, Yoruba people, we can't control it. English is controlling your crude oil. It is because of foreigners who are your president. Buhari is an irresponsible man, a completely irresponsible man. You have a military that is killing. If you have common sense, you decentralize your military. If you decentralize the military in Nigeria now, we have the Yoruba National Guard that will be the Yoruba military. Under the Yoruba Parliament, the Parliament of the Yoruba will be two, the House of Obas and the House of Commons. The House of Obas will control the military, which will be under Alaafin of Oyo. Imagine your king, Alaafin of Oyo, addressing the Yoruba nation, saying that he's going to kill you with military and police. That will never happen. You will remove him the next day because you put him there as your king. But Fulani Buhari can say that because Nigeria is a multicultural nation. We must decentralize the military in Nigeria. We can no longer continue with the unitary military, whereby the military of Nigeria is one. It is not one in America. Each state in America controls its own military. It is not one in United Kingdom. Each region in United Kingdom controls its own military. It's going to bring Hausa Fulani military to be killing Igbo people. But you see, you blame this irresponsible Igbo. Every time, we've had about 3 different national conferences. Every time the Yoruba move motion that let us decentralize the police, let us decentralize the military, the Igbo will say no because they are hoping that one day they will be president of Nigeria and use the same military to kill everybody in Yoruba land. How can a president make that statement? I have now told the military, he says, and the police to be brutal. From now, we will speak the language they understand, and in the coming weeks, you will get exactly what I'm saying. English is backing this fucked up guy. English don't care for you, they care for your wealth. They control your crude oil. They control the taxes that you pay in Yoruba land. They control all your commercials. Their banks are taking your wealth. English is still enslaving Yoruba people in 2021. This is what gives this guy the boldness. English are the second largest exporter of weapons in the world. They will back Fulani up with weapons. You need America. How can a president be making this ridiculous statement, addressing his people, and the National Assembly is quiet about that? Because you put foreigners in power. People in Nigeria are horrible. You don't like white people in South Africa because of the color of their skin, because they are not from South Africa. They are minority and ruling. You all in Africa protested against that. You call it apartheid. What about Fulani in Nigeria? They are not from Nigeria. They are from Senegal, and they are minority. The same way the whites in South Africa were. We chase away the whites in South Africa and give power to the indigenous black people. Why is it difficult for us to chase away the Fulani from Nigeria and give power to the Yoruba, who are the majority in Nigeria and indigenous people? The Scottish want to go. It's the same thing that the Igbo are asking for, but the Igbo don't really believe in Biafra anyway, because the Biafra they are asking for is a fraud. But everyone has that legitimate right to say they don't want to. Because you don't allow referendum, that's why people are killing each other. If you allow referendum, there will be two camps. Those who will be for the referendum and those who will be against it. So if you allow referendum, for instance, for Yoruba to decide whether they want to remain part of Nigeria or not, there will be a party that will say we should remain part of Nigeria. There will be another party that will say we should not. And this debate will be normalized, allow people to be able to vote, rather than for you to say that you're going to use the military. English are the people killing you. When Fulani are speaking like that, I have said this time without number to the Yoruba in England. Majority of you are living a horrible life. Majority of you don't have family life. Majority of you don't have good job. You are well educated, obviously. You are not happy. You are just existing. You are not living. Let us challenge the irresponsible government in England, led by Boris Johnson. Let him allow Nigeria to break. Guarantee him that 70% of us will leave this country the same year that Nigeria break. I tell you one thing, Boris Johnson will not accept for Nigeria to break, because the government of England is stealing your wealth in Yoruba to fund economic growth and development in England. It's so simple. How can a president speak this way Buhari spoke, that he will be brutal with police and military to kill people? Why don't you give them referendum? Why don't you give them referendum? If you offer them referendum, now you think they will be protesting? If you offer them referendum, you think they will be destroying lives and properties? Offer them referendum, but he's telling that he's going to use police. The military and police in Nigeria belong to the Fulani, and they are working for the interests of the English establishment. And they will continue to kill you, because that is what is called neocolonialism. A president said that he's going to use police and military to kill the people in his country. Don't you know that he's a colonial officer working for a particular nation, which is England? Let's go ahead with what this guy said. Now, quote someone, I'm going to respond to that. He said, dividing Nigeria to piecemeal is not any solution. But he didn't provide any solution. He did not. What we agreed to was parliamentary system, that the nations, the 15 nations that made up Nigeria, will control their wealth and resources and contribute certain percentage of that wealth to the central government for the running of the central government. That is not the system we're practicing. That is the problem. But he doesn't want to go back to that system because it's Fulani. The moment they go back to that system, he knows that as Fulani, he will not be able to control Yoruba crude oil any longer. He will not be able to control Yoruba coastal line any longer. And the English will not be able to do the same thing. He's saying that dividing Nigeria to piecemeal is not any problem. Even the United Kingdom that created Nigeria divided in 1922. The United Kingdom started in 1535. When the English spoke to the Welsh for them to join together. It took the Welsh 10 years, 1545, for them to agree to form a union with the English. Then the English approached the Scottish in 1701. It took Scottish 5 years, by 1706, 1707, for the Scottish to divide to join the union. Then the Irish joined the Union in 1801. But when the Irish realized that only the English were ruling, the Irish opted out in 1922. The English colonial talk who created Nigeria, their whole country has divided. Russia, one of the most powerful countries on planet Earth, used to call USSR, divided into 15 nations. The whole Roman Empire divided into several nations. So there's no big deal about Nigeria not dividing. He said dividing Nigeria to piecemeal is not any solution. What is the solution? He did not profile. He said it is a wrong signal to all investors. Do you know what that means? Read this again. This is what Buhari said. Dividing Nigeria to piecemeal is not any solution. It is a wrong signal to all investors. He's talking about investors. He's actually talking about English. He knows that if Nigeria breaks, the English will not be able to control the Yoruba world any longer. The English control the police in Nigeria. They spoke about this in their House of Commons during the NSAS protest. We found out that they were giving money. It is not free money because the English control our crude oil. So they give you stipend and say, okay, use it to fund your police. People who are controlling our crude oil. You think that they are giving you international aid. It's all bullshit. They are the one. How can a foreign entity be controlling the police in Nigeria, be controlling the military in Nigeria? Buhari is saying that if Nigeria divides, it is a wrong signal to all investors. How can you keep Nigeria and people continue to die, people continue to kill themselves because of the interest of investors who are foreigners? It's protecting Nigeria because of the interest of the English. English are the people stealing the wealth in Nigeria. That is the truth. It is called neo-colonialism, new form of colonialism. You will not physically see white English ruling over Nigeria. Their agent is the Fulani who are not from Nigeria. Imagine Polish people who are not indigenous to the United Kingdom, ruling over English, ruling over Scottish, ruling over Welsh, ruling over the Irish, and killing all these people every now and then. Do you think the English will take that? But that is the nonsense they have foisted on the indigenous people of Nigeria, allowing Fulani who are not from Nigeria to be ruling over every one of us. And he's saying that dividing Nigeria is a wrong signal to all investors. Who cares about the interests of the English when people are dying in Nigeria? The system is wrong. Nigeria is a multicultural nation. You don't use unitary system. You don't force people together. No. You allow Yoruba to exist on their own. That is the system they practice in the United Kingdom. How can we have waterways and foreigners are the one going onto our waterways to fish? Because Fulani is the president of Nigeria, he ignores these foreigners that are coming. How can you be keeping Nigeria together for the interest of foreigners when people inside Nigeria are saying they don't like the system? The political system is wrong. And he went on to say, so each republic will become a paradise. When we practice regional government, the Yoruba nation, we had television station before France. That was a paradise. When we practice regional government, leaders of the Saudi Arabian people were coming to Yoruba land for healthcare, for medical tourism. That was paradise. This Buhari is so authoritarian, so bold, and he speaks like a crazy man because he has the backing of the English. Yoruba will continue to complain and make noise until we get it into our brain to get the backing of the United States of America. He's saying that if the country breaks away, are we going to become paradise? Yoruba, we contribute 49% of the total revenue of Nigeria. We contribute 80% of the gross domestic product of Nigeria. Lagos State alone contributes 40% of Nigeria GDP. Ogun State contributes 20% of Nigeria GDP. 60% from 2 Yoruba states. By the time you had other Yoruba states, we as a Yoruba nation inside Nigeria, we are responsible for 80% of the gross domestic product of Nigeria. If we break out of Nigeria, we will be better than paradise. Because this is not showing in our life. Because Igbo and Fulani are stealing our wealth. So stupid Buhari is saying that if we break up, are we going to become paradise? Yoruba nation is going to be. We are the second largest economy in Africa after South Africa. As I'm speaking to you today, if Yoruba nation hopped out of Nigeria, we will be the second largest economy in Africa. And the money that is generated in Yoruba land can take care of 120 million people yearly. And we are only 60 million. You think anybody will be going abroad to wash toilets? And he spoke, and nobody's talk, because the English support the Fulani, who are minority in Nigeria, who are foreigners. And everybody continued to condemn white South Africans, saying that they were practicing apartheid. What do you think Fulani are practicing? It is a worse form of racism, what the Fulani are practicing. And English are responsible. They are the ones helping them. And he went on to say something. If Nigeria breaks, how do we share what united us? Illiterate man. In 1967, during the Leaders of Thought speech given by Awolowo, is one of the 4 conditions he made is that the Yoruba nation will not pay back a dime of the loan obtained from World Bank and IMF unless the projects are cited in Yoruba land. And the confused idiot old man working for the English Buhari, he is saying that how do we share what united us? All the loans you are taking from China, you are using it to build railway in Niger Republic. So the Chinese will seize that railway and you will pay. It's not a big deal if we break up the country. All the loans obtained from abroad, whether domestic or international loan, the project are cited somewhere in Nigeria. It is the country where the project is after we have broken up that will be responsible for the payment. I'm doing a course in justice with Harvard University. And there's a lot of new things, new concepts that they are introducing to us. They talk about the initial holding, the original owner of the land. The resources of that land belong to them. And they talk about free transfer. Who is the owner of the crude oil in Yoruba land? It is the Yoruba people. We are the initial holder. The land belongs to us. That is where God created us. Who owns the coastline from Lagos to Ogun, to Ondo, to Ishekrila? It belongs to Yoruba people. We did not give this to the federal government. Muritala Muhammad took them away from us in 1975. Is that a fair transfer? No. And he's saying that if we break up, how do we share? Stupid people. People who contributed nothing because they have the backing of the English. They are just threatening everybody with the legitimate use of monopoly of violence. He goes on and says, I am surprised Nigerian elite watch this uninformed lot to make criminal statement every day. He is the one that is uninformed because the stupid man has the backing of the English who are stealing our wealth. That's why he speaks boldly. He is the one that is uninformed. The greatest mistake our parent generation made was to believe that because Fulani have black skin, they should be comfortable in Nigeria. When our parent generation were mobilizing for support for whites in South Africa to leave. The whites in South Africa are human beings like Fulani. Why do you have to chase them away? Why do you take power away from the white South Africans? Because they are minority. That is the meaning of apartheid. Minority does not rule over majority. Every society is the majority that rules. Fulani are minority in Nigeria. How can they be president of Nigeria? How can they be the one controlling the police? How can they be the one controlling the military? How can they be the one controlling the immigration, controlling the custom, controlling our life? Minority, something we condemn in South Africa. And we allow this to fetter on and go on forever in Nigeria. It is the English that are behind all of this. It is the government in England that is responsible. He said that we are better off as Nigerians. No, everything went on smoothly. We had the first constitution in 1914. The people started fighting and said, you can't force us together. We're not one. We had another constitution in 1922. The northern part of Nigeria, rather, they were removed from Nigeria, remaining the southern part. The southern part started fighting each other, Yoruba and Igbo, saying that we are not the same. Why should you force us together? Then we had another constitution in 1946 that separated everybody. The 1946 constitution brought back the northern Nigeria and separated us into 3 regions. Then we didn't agree because we were not allowed to participate in the government of each region. Then in 1951, we had a new constitution that solidified parliamentary system that gives the indigenous people the right to govern themselves. Then we had another one in 1954 that created the central government of Nigeria with limited function. Then between 1957 and 1959, we all sat down, the indigenous people of Nigeria. We met in London and wrote a constitution in 1959. The constitution became operational on the 1st of October 1960. That constitution says that we will be one, we will be a country, but we must practice parliamentary system in which all the regions will govern themselves. Nobody subscribed to this useless presidential system. It was Igbo who imposed it on us, and Fulani perpetrated that. And he's saying that we are better off as Nigerians. We're not better because the system has been destroyed. But because the English benefited from the rubbish system that we have, they don't want us to go back to the parliamentary system. Yet in their United Kingdom, they are practicing parliamentary system of government. Imagine the English controlling the Scottish waterways. As minority as the Scottish are, they will go to war with the English. How can a president say we are better together when we are killing ourselves every day? Look at how Igbo people, they jubilate in chaos, in destruction, in disorganization. How can a president sit down to say that we are better off together? The system is not working. He's just talking down at everybody. Useless man who calls himself president because he's got the backing of the irresponsible English establishment. He's saying that we are better together. How can we be better together? I've got a master's degree more than 20 years ago. I've written 4 books. My 5th book has been seized by the police because of the headings. What exactly am I doing in England other than being arrested every time I'm going to court every 1.5 years? Is that a life when we should be using our brain to make our homeland great? The system is bad. Let us go back to the constitution we all agreed to. Let us devolve power to the regions of Nigeria, not the useless 36 states. How can we allow foreigners to be president of Nigeria? That is what I don't understand. I'm a foreigner in England. Do you think the English will allow Yoruba to rule over them? So why should we allow Fulani to rule? If you have a Yoruba president, he won't speak the way Fulani does. He will not. Tinubu, as the president of Nigeria, will not come on a live program and say that he's going to use police, he's going to use military to kill people who disagree with the political system. He won't talk like that because it's indigenous to Nigeria. Yoruba is part of Nigeria. Tinubu is a Yoruba man. Fulani is not part of Nigeria. That's why every Fulani talks like that. The same thing Yaradua did when he bought weapon from the English, used weapon in Iraqi war. He bought it and he was using it to kill Ijaw people. The same thing all Fulani have always been doing. Killing. Tafawa Balewa killed a lot of Yoruba people too. Look at another question that he was asked. He said, your government borrow more. That was what the interviewer asked him. And he responded. He said, the previous government earned more with nothing on ground. Did you ask them where they kept our money? If I knew where, maybe I would not borrow. He went on to say, they sold oil at $100 a barrel. We sell at $25 a barrel. They wasted money on power, no light, no road, no rail. We are the one constructing bridges, building roads and rails. Today, I'm commissioning Lagos Ibadan Railway. I will commission Lagos Ibadan Expressway later. I will commission more across the country. No country can survive without infrastructure. It might be right that the previous government of the PDP, who had power from 1999 until 2015, did absolutely nothing. It is the most corrupt government that we've had in Nigeria. Very corrupt set of people. That is a given fact from Buhari. But nobody needs a president that is constructing road. No, we want that power devolved to the region. How can we have a political system in which one man will be constructing road, having only the right to approve railway system? That's not the kind of country we want. We are a multicultural country, a country of 15 nations. You cannot subsume the nation into one identity. God Almighty wasn't high on opium or marijuana when he created me Yoruba. He created the other person Igbo. He created Buhari Fulani. We must respect that diversity and that identity. We don't need a political system whereby the people in Ado-Ekiti will be looking up to the president of Nigeria in faraway Abuja to construct road for them. No. The responsibility of the federal government of Nigeria should be limited to 7 functions: print money, regulate international trade, regulate regional trade, be in charge of immigration, provide an army only during external aggression. We don't need a president that is building a road. Look at the state of Lagos-Ibadan Express Road. Obasanjo campaigned to build that road in 1999. When he left, Yar'Adua used that road as a campaign slogan. He died. Jonathan was using the same road to campaign. He left after 5 years. And Buhari is telling us after he has spent 6 years in power that he's going to construct Lagos-Ibadan Express Road. Look at that. That is the busiest road in Nigeria. But because we are not able to control our own wealth and resources, that is why it has taken more than 23 years to do ordinary repair of Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. That every government will now use this as a campaign rhetorics to say they want war for Yoruba. No, the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway should be the responsibility of these 2 states, or the 3 states, Lagos, Ogun, and Oyo states. It should not be the responsibility of the federal government. It shouldn't. But how are they going to sustain that road when all the taxes that we paid in Yoruba land goes to the federal government? There's something he said when he was condemning the Yoruba governor, and I read it to you. He said, 2 Southwest governors, it's ridiculous when you call Yoruba. It's like you calling Igbo, you calling English. You don't call them English. You just gave one stupid name to describe them. Say Southwest. How can you be calling Yoruba land Southwest? Why are we so foolish as Yoruba people? When the English colonial talk came, they divided us and called us Western Nigeria. Yeah, the English gave us that name, Western Nigeria, yet we are Yoruba people. Gowon came, started dividing us into Lagos, Oyo, Ogun, and everything. Before Igbo gave us the name Southwest. Why are we not proud of our identity as Yoruba people? Why is it so difficult? You just want to kill the identity God has created in order to form an imaginary unity. He goes on and said, 2 Southwest governors came to me to say cattle rearers are destroying farms in their state. I asked them, what happened to the grassroots security panel from traditional rulers to local government, who meet regularly to identify the root of their problems and identify crooks within their environment and apprehend the criminals? He then said, who destroyed this system? He told, according to him, he said, he told the governor, go back and fix it. Give your people sense of belonging. How can the governor go back and fix it where they do not have the legitimate use of monopoly of violence, guns? When the federal government controls the guns, controls ammunition, is that the case in the United States of America? We said we have copied useless presidential system from America, which is not tenable in Nigeria because we are not a country of immigrants. In America, each state control their own police. Governors went to him to complain about the atrocity and killings of Fulani X-men. He's telling them to go and resolve it themselves when they do not have legitimate use of monopoly of violence. They can't control guns. If they can control guns, you think they will come and report Fulani who are killing people in Yoruba land to you? They won't. They will have killed them with the legitimate use of violence. And he's talking about who destroyed them. He's talking about the power the traditional rulers used to have. That's what he's talking about. Who destroyed them? The Igbo destroyed the system in 1966. Who perpetrated the unitary system? The Fulani. He is the one who destroyed the system. Before, Oni of Ife used to be the head of state. That is the #1 position in Yoruba land today. Is he #1 today in Yoruba land? Everybody talks down at him. Nobody reckons with him. And he himself is not even carrying himself as the head of state of Yoruba land. Many a times he made ridiculous statements. The second most important political position in Yoruba land is the chairman of the House of Obas, which they call House of Chief. And that is the Alafin of Oyo. That is how we do it. And the third most powerful position in Nigeria is the Premier of Nigeria. Is the Premier of Yoruba land, sorry. But today, these Yoruba natural rulers or leaders, they don't have any power anymore. Oni doesn't have any power as the head of state. Alafin doesn't have any power as the president of Yoruba land. And Buhari is, according to him, is asking the governor who destroyed the system. The Igbo destroyed the system. The Fulani perpetrated the unitary system. He is part of those who destroyed the system. Look at the way he just talked down at people. Somebody that is a stark illiterate who never went to secondary school. Does he have the same mental capability as President Trump? Even Joe Biden, that is 78 years old? Igbo and Fulani destroyed the system that has rendered the traditional leader useless. This is what we're trying to bring back. Give us back what we negotiated before Nigeria independence. Give it us. Again, we want to go back to parliamentary system. We want every region within Nigeria to govern themselves. You want the governor to fix the problem. People who have no legitimate use of guns. You think if our governors control guns, you know how many Yoruba that will be sent to America to be trained by American security agents, and they come back armed with guns? You think that they will be asking the president to help them to solve the problem? Do you want them to go and be using sticks to pursue Fulani who have AK-47? He says that the governor are shifting their responsibility. They are not shifting their responsibility. It is Buhari that is a useless man who talks authoritatively because he's got the support of the useless, irresponsible, self-serving career politicians in England who are stealing our wealth. How can you have a useless system? Imagine, it is the mayor of London who controls the police in London. The mayor of London, and the people vote. They don't just appoint commissioners. They vote in the election for who will become their commissioner of police. If we vote who becomes commissioner of police in all the states across Yoruba land, do you think an Igbo will be commissioner of police or Fulani? But what do you have now? You have foreigners as commissioner of police. How do you expect them to solve the problem? The stupid man saying that the governor should go and solve the problem. He is the one that appointed commissioner of police. He is the one that is in charge of the military. How do you expect the governor to solve this? Imagine if we decentralize the police and the military. Do you think our governors will be going to one useless president to say that Fulani herdsmen are killing their people? He just talked to, because everyone is stupid in that country. Very illiterate set of people. He comes around and said, the two governors from Southwest came to me. They were complaining about Fulani herdsmen killing them. I tell them to go and resolve the problem. They should stop shifting responsibility. People who don't have legitimate use of monopoly of violence, guns. People who don't control the police. People who do not control the military. He sits in Abuja, which is stupid Fulani people who have the support of the English. They control all the guns. And you expect our governors to perform wonders. You expect our governors to stop. And people believe the nonsense that he was talking about. So he destroyed the system. He's asking, who destroyed the system? You Fulani and Igbo destroyed the beautiful system we had. That's why every one of us, we are killing ourselves in the country. He goes, he said, I don't like it when people campaign to become governors and people trusted them with their vote, and after winning, they can't perform. They are trying to push responsibility to others. Look, if we control, I'll give you an example. Apapa Wharf belongs to the Yoruba people, but Fulani and Igbo control it, all the jobs there. Apapa Wharf and Tinkerport generate 10 trillion. Imagine if we, Yoruba, are the one controlling it. You think we are going to be, Sanwo-Olu will be going to show pictures of the destruction of Lagos to Buhari in Abuja and say, please give us money to refurbish all the buses that has been destroyed, all the property that has been destroyed in Lagos? You think Sanwo-Olu will be going to him? He said governors are shifting their responsibility. The Constitution is bullshit. The Constitution, section 162, subsection 1 of the Federal Republic of Nigeria Constitution says that you will take all the money from all the state, local government, and the regions in Nigeria and move it to Abuja. Then section 162, subsection 2 says that you will share this money back according to the number of local government, according to the number of state, according to land mass, according to population figure. And you take all the money from Yoruba, you give the lion's share to Fulani. So you start saying that our governors are shifting responsibility. Governors who have no money, they are just glorified local governments. Buhari is a very irresponsible man. The statement he made that he's going to use police and military to kill people is enough for him to be impeached. But you think they are going to impeach him? If Gbajabiamila should move for his impeachment, he's going to be assassinated. Nothing will happen because the English give backing to the Fulani. Look at how the Fulani assassinated MK Abiola with the support of the English and the Democratic Party in America. So you think Gbajabiamila will now say, I want to move a motion? The statement Buhari made yesterday is sufficient for him to be removed as the president of Nigeria. But Gbajabiamila will be able to make that statement if Tinubu has secured the support of the good people of America. You will see. Gbajabiamila will move the motion for Buhari to be removed. Nothing will happen to him. That's why we keep saying to Yoruba people, you need America. Fulani has the backing of the English. You also need America. Without America, you will not achieve anything. Is condemning our governor, saying that the governor are shifting their responsibility. Do you know how much money? I do not live in Nigeria, but I'm paying tax. I have money in the bank. Every time they pay me interest rate, they will charge withholding tax and stamp duty. I am paying tax. I'm a Yoruba citizen. I have my account in Ibadan. It is Yoruba land. But my withholding tax, my stamp duty money is going to Abuja. How do you want your governor to work? If my governor controls my withholding tax and my stamp duty, you think they will be going to one stupid Buhari, president of Nigeria? He's saying governors are shifting their responsibility. Governors who are just glorified local government chairmen. He just talked down at us. They just talked down Fulani, minority in Nigeria, who are not even indigenous to Nigeria. It is me. It is like me as the king of England. Is that a possibility? Do you think the English will accept that nonsense? But we accepted for foreigner to be president of Nigeria. That is what the English did to you. Put foreigners there so that they steal your money. He said governors are pushing their responsibility. Devolve power. We don't have, this is what he says. He said, we have 3 tiers of government. No, he said federal, state, and local government. That was not what we subscribed to. It was 2 tiers of government. The central government, that is the name, not federal. It is Igbo who made it federal. It was the central government and the regional government. That was the 2 tiers of government we had in Nigeria. The regional government has responsibility with state and local government. The responsibility of state and local government does not concern the central government. Governors are not shifting responsibility. Governors are useless. You pay so much taxes. Ordinary license plate number, federal government controls it. Court fines and fee, federal government controls it. Income tax, federal government controls it. Withholding tax, federal government controls it. Stamp duty, federal government controls it. Everything they control. They control our mineral and natural resources. That was not the system we agreed. So the governors are not shifting their responsibility. The governors are poor and miserable because irresponsible Buhari, who is a Fulani man, and the Igbo destroyed the system in order to suppress and subjugate the Yoruba people. That's what they did. The governors are not shifting their responsibility. Imagine we control the huge tax paid in Yoruba land. You think anybody would want to be president of Nigeria? Look at, let me say something to you. Since I have been campaigning, I have never said in any public lecture that I would like to be president of Nigeria. I've never said I would like to be governor. I've never said I would like to be senator or House of Representatives. I've never said I want to contest to be State House of Assembly members. I've never said I want to be local government chairman or councillor. No, I have always said that I would like to be Prime Minister of the Yoruba region or Oduduwa Republic. It's a political position that is not even in existence. It was suspended in 1966, but I had that vision as a 15-year-old boy. And I've been campaigning for a position that is not yet in existence. And we believe, because that is a dream of a child, that if Tinubu takes the presidency from 2023, he will devolve power back to the region. And people like me will be able to contest for election to be the Prime Minister of Yoruba land, a position that has never been in existence since 1966 that the Igbo suspended it. So you see, we are dedicated. We know where we are going. We know how to get there. That is why we keep telling young Yoruba, don't fall for the gimmick of the Igbo and the Yoruba Libra. Always attacking Tinubu, attacking Tinubu, attacking Tinubu. That is the Messiah for Yoruba land. English don't like him. Fulani hate him. Igbo want him dead. The Yoruba, half Yoruba, they want to destroy him. And because it is the Messiah for the Yoruba nation. He said, we have 3 tiers of government, federal, state, and local government. We have killed the local government. That's what Buhari said. We have killed the local government. Igbo killed the regional government. Fulani killed the regional government. We have killed the regional government. That is why we are having problem now. He's talking about saying we have killed the local government. Look at what he said. And this is very interesting. He said, we will send 300 million as allocation to a local government. One governor will ask the local government chairman to sign that he only collected 300 million, but he will give him 100 million and the chairman will keep quiet. Is that how we'll continue? That is what Buhari has. But if you are very knowledgeable, you will ask Buhari, how come you take revenue from local government, you take revenue from state government, you take revenue from regional government, and you move it to Abuja, and you now give it back to the state and back to the local government? Is that how we should continue? Is that what we agreed to before Nigeria was granted our independence in 1960? No, he's concerned about the fact that local government has been destroyed. How come he's not concerned about the fact that regional government has been destroyed? Look at the statement, look at the horrible statement he made. How can the president be given monthly allocation every month? Which country does that? Is that how Joe Biden does in America? Giving money to each state and local government in America. Is that how the English who supported Buhari to be killing people in Nigeria? Is that how they do in Britain, to be giving money to each regions and local government every month? Is that what they do? Is concerned about the destruction of local government. The idiot is not concerned about the destruction of the regional government. He gratifying himself that he gives 300 million to a local government every month and the governor takes it. How do you get 300 million? Is it not the money that belongs to local government? Is it not the money that belongs to state that you have moved to Abuja and appropriated it because of the useless 1999 constitution? The Igbo and Fulani have destroyed regional government. That is what we need to bring back. It is not the responsibility of the federal government to concern himself with local government. How can federal government be giving money to local government? That was why they created 774 local government, to steal Yoruba money. They created useless 36 states to steal Yoruba money. That's what they do. Stop taking money to Abuja. That is what we want. The Yoruba want to stop this monthly allocation. They give 3 kind of money. Security vote every month. Monthly allocation to the state and constituency allowance. It is Yoruba money and we don't want that to continue anymore. It's talking about local government being destroyed. Why not talk about what you should concern yourself? The regional government has been destroyed. We want the regional government back. Nobody subscribe to this useless 36 state system. He's saying that local government, he gives money to local government, governors will take it. He is at Abuja. Are you not giving contract to Fulani? Are you not building railway to Niger Republic? Are you not building refinery in Niger Republic? Is that not a form of corruption? Is Niger Republic or is the Niger Republic part of Nigeria? They ask him in one hand, why are you doing all of that? He says that if he doesn't have good relationship with our neighbors, Boko Haram will overrun us from our neighbor. The hopeless man wants to kill people of Nigeria, people inside Nigeria. He doesn't want to have good relationship with them. He wants to be assassinating them, saying that he has told police and the military to be brutal. But the idiot is being friendly with our neighbor. He's a crazy man because he's not indigenous to Nigeria. He's working for the English establishment to kill the indigenous people of Nigeria. That is the statement he made in that interview. Because a lot of you are not intelligent. You just accepted it. Imagine if we have the support of America. Buhari will be gone the next day. He's having good relationship with our neighbors, Niger Republic and Chad, building infrastructures for them so that they can help to stop the influx of Boko Haram from their region. But the people in Nigeria, he wants to be killing them because they are agitating for their own space. He wants to be killing them. Is that reasonable? Is that reasonable? Useless man. You just put power in the hands of foreigners. Somebody from Senegal is the president of Nigeria. Make me the prime minister of Britain. I will fuck up a lot of English. For how they destroy Yoruba land. I will appoint Yoruba to control their police, to control their military, to control their judiciary. I'll put my son to control the Central Bank of England. Yeah. You think the English will accept that? You think they will accept that? But that is the rubbish we are allowed to continue in Nigeria. Allowing Fulani who are not from Nigeria to preside over the country. It will never be great. Nigeria will never be great. You don't allow foreigners to rule over you. All of the instability that is going on in Nigeria, English are making money because they are selling weapons to the federal government of Nigeria. If there is stability, they won't be able to sell weapons. They won't be able to sell weapons. So they are making money from the instability. So Yoruba youth, the moment you graduate, you are washing toilet in England. You are going to America to drive kabu because they deliberately created instability in your region. So you are running away. It pays the English. This is what they are doing to you. They want the instability to continue. That's why they put foreigners there. That is why the English are against Tinubu to be president of Nigeria. They know he's full-blooded Yoruba. He will not accept the nonsense that is going on. Now, he talks something about the South-South. He said, I am particularly impressed with the South-South leaders regarding their stand about Nigeria, both their leaders and youths. No one told me what they said. I listened to them myself, Buhari says, and their message was clear. God bless them all. And what was he referring to? The youth of the South-South and their leader came out against the irresponsible hip-hop organization led by that useless, stupid Nnamdi Kanu. The people of the South said that they are not part of Biafra. They are distinct nation. They are Edo nation. They are Urobo nation. They are Ijaw nation. Efik nation. That the Igbo should stop appropriating their land as part of Biafra, which we have always been saying that is the reasonable thing to do. We've been saying to every young Yoruba, particularly the conservative wings, that look, the Igbo do not wish to get out of Nigeria. The Igbo are just using Biafra as a propaganda, emotional propaganda, to blackmail the Yoruba, to blackmail everyone in Nigeria. The Igbo are not contributing anything. Yoruba alone will contribute 49% to the revenue of the federal government that we use to fund the state called Nigeria. And we contribute 80% of the gross domestic product of Nigeria. If Lagos and Ogun State is shut down, that is 60% of the gross domestic product of Nigeria gone. There's nothing in Igbo land. They don't contribute anything to the gross domestic product of Nigeria. They only contribute 1.5% to the revenue of Nigeria. Igbo land is erosion-ravaged, wretched place. They don't want out of Nigeria. They are using the campaign of Biafra as a propaganda to keep Nigeria under the unitary system. Buhari stated the same thing yesterday in his interview. He said He said, Igbo land is just like a dot in a circle. So you draw a circle like this. You draw a circle and put a dot. They don't have anywhere to escape to. Igbo land is the Lesotho of Nigeria. But look at the people of Lesotho. They said they don't want to be part of South Africa. Lesotho is like Abuja inside Nigeria. That's how Lesotho is in South Africa. They said they don't want to be part of South Africa. They want to be a distinct country. They are landlocked, surrounded by South Africa. Yet they said, we don't want to be South Africa. We want to be Lesotho. These are proud people. Look at Igbo land. They are landlocked. They don't want Biafra. They are just using it as a gimmick to be inside Nigeria. And that was what Buhari referred to when the people of the South said that they are not part of Biafra. I said to you that if Tinubu becomes president, you will see the shame of the Igbo. Because Tinubu will offer them in the Igbo Republic. And the Igbo will start saying, no, we want to be part of Nigeria. They are a dot in a circle, according to Buhari, and he's right. So all the noise of Nnamdi Kanu is just propaganda. Whenever I see a Yoruba believing Biafra, I know that he's a stark illiterate, worse than Sunday Dagboru. So that was what we said many, many, many months ago, if not years, that Biafra is a fraud. The moment you allow the Edo youth, Urobo youth, Ijo youth, Efikibibio youth to speak publicly and disassociate themselves from this irresponsible Nnamdi Kanu, he would drop the nonsense he's doing. All of this killing that is going on in Igbo land, all the killings that is going on in Yoruba land, that you are putting some blame on Fulani, these have been carried out by Igbo. Igbo enjoy instability because they lack human capital. They can't grow. So where any place that is instability, that is where Igbos thrive. They thrive in instability rather. So all the nonsense that is going on in Nigeria, that is what the Igbo wants. But you need a president of Nigeria that will make Igbo to accept to be Lesotho of Nigeria in the Igbo Republic. He was right. But the fact that Buhari was right, that he said that Igbo land is a dot in a circle, is simply referring to the fact that Igbo are landlocked. Hausa Fulani land is also landlocked. So don't think that his own is different. Hausa Fulani land is also landlocked. Both Igbo and Fulani, Hausa Fulani land, are landlocked. Both of them want Nigeria. The Ijo don't want Nigeria. Give Ijo their nation, they are fine. Give Yoruba their nation, they are fine. Even Kanuri people that is landlocked, they are like Lesotho, very proud people. They don't care about your waterways. They don't care about your crude oil, the Kanuri people. They just want to be on their own. It is the Hausa, Fulani, and Igbo who are criminals. They just want to continue to suppress and subjugate the Yoruba so that they can control our crude oil and our waterways. How do they wish to do that? To hold on to the presidency of Nigeria. So he agrees with the South, and we have said this to you. And I believe that the Yoruba youth who are waving ridiculous Biafra flag, saying that Igbo want out of Nigeria, Igbo don't want out of Nigeria. If Igbo want out of Nigeria, one, they will support a return to regional government. They will support the decentralization of the police. They will support the decentralization of the military. If the day the Igbo people support regional government, decentralization of police and military, believe you me, God is now living in Igbo land. But I tell you, till all of them will perish, they will never support a return to regional government. There is no Igbo man or woman, whether dead or alive, who wants Biafra. There is none. They don't want Biafra that is Igbo, wholly speaking Biafra. And that is what the people of the Niger Delta have stated. But Buhari went on and said, my statement about speaking language they understand is very simple. It is meant for all criminals in Nigeria, but he's a criminal. He is a criminal. How do you define somebody who is a criminal? He sits in Abuja using the money generated from Yoruba port, Yoruba crude oil, to build railway in Niger Republic, to build refinery in Niger Republic, to provide social amenities for Hausa Fulani, but all the Yoruba youth are traveling to America to go and drive Uber. They are moving to America to go and be engaged in sham marriages so that they can get green card. A lot of us are in England doing horrible jobs. We face discrimination in the hand of the irresponsible police in England. And you allow English, you see English all over Yoruba land, particularly Lagos and Ibadan, doing the best job. They are not washing our toilet. They are not cleaning our hospitals. They are not taking care of our disabled people. They do top jobs in Yoruba land. It is because Fulani are in power. Imagine Tinubu is the power. You think English will control our crude oil? Imagine Tinubu as president of Nigeria. You think English will control our waterways? Imagine Tinubu as the president of Nigeria. You think Yoruba will be washing toilets in England? Yoruba will come back home and take all the jobs in Yoruba land. But what do we see now? The moment we graduate, we are running away from Yoruba land because Fulani are criminals. Buhari is calling people, he's saying that his language that they will understand is talking to criminals, somebody that is a criminal. There is nothing in Hausa Fulani land. Look at it. Which I always give you this example. What can be destroyed in Sokoto, Kano, Kaduna, Katsina, Jigawa, Kebbi, and Zamfara state? 7 Hausa Fulani speaking states. Name one thing that if you destroy it, the entire Yoruba land will crumble. Name it. Nothing. So why are we in the same country with them then? What favors are they doing for us? Nothing. Name it. Look at it. What can you destroy in Hausa land that will have any negative impact on Yoruba land? There is nothing. Yet, every month, the money generated in Yoruba land, they take it to Abuja and give the lion's shares to Hausa Fulani region. Is that not criminal? Is that not criminal? And Buhari is talking about that his language they will understand is meant for criminals, somebody that is a criminal. Tell him to devolve power to the region. He will say no. Because the moment you will go back to devolution of power, the port in Lagos, it is Yoruba citizen that will be working there. All the customs offices, we have 11 custom commands in Yoruba. When we go back to devolution, Fulani and Igbo will no longer work there. Buhari doesn't want that. Tell Buhari that, look, you are a criminal because you support the unity system. Let us go back to regional government so that Yoruba will control his own crude oil. He will say no. And he said he wants to speak the language they understand. Criminal. Why are they always producing the presidency? Because the English control your wealth. So the English give them weapon. So that is the language that Buhari is speaking. I will kill every one of you. That's what Buhari is saying. So when you hear that, you start shaking. You keep quiet. Is that not what they have been doing to the Yoruba since the 60s? Who is supporting them? English. So when Buhari comes out with gun, start killing everybody, you keep quiet. All the noise about the Oduduwa Republic, you keep quiet. Who is supporting Buhari to do that? English. Why? Because English control your crude oil. English control your waterways. English control all the political economy in Yoruba land to fund economic growth and development in their country. Tell the English to allow Nigeria to break. They will say no. Because they are stealing your wealth. So that's what they do. They speak the language that you understand, killing you. That's what they do. English has MI5, killing people to protect the interests of England. They have MI6, killing people from outside to protect the interests of their home country. They're talking about terrorism. Terrorism, they practice it. They practice because they go to other people's country to steal their wealth. That's what Buhari is doing. That's what Buhari is practicalizing. He has the backing of the English. He's calling people criminal. Look at it. Look, go. We've challenged people times without number. Times without number. Every federal government jobs in Yoruba, it is Hausa Fulani that are there. There was a video I watched recently of a lady complaining about EFCC in Yoruba land. It's Hausa Fulani people that you see there. You want to come to England and wash toilet. England that their police will stop and search you because you are black. How many times have we stopped and searched English national in Lagos because they are whites? But the police in England will stop and search you, yet you want to continue to come to their country. Look at EFCC. Our children cannot work there. Every time EFCC in Yoruba land, they will go to our university, They will just round up like 500 students and said all of them are doing Yahoo Yahoo. So we don't have brilliant Yoruba who can work in our EFCC. Is that what they're telling us? Your police, everything. Look at the Fulani they want to bring down to come and be killing people in Yoruba land, to come and be killing people in Igbo land. They are Fulani. So don't you have Yoruba who can be military in Yoruba land, who can be policemen in Yoruba land? Why must it be foreigner? Why? Somebody you don't speak the same language with is a foreigner. Every time, you see, all the federal government job, if all the federal government job in Yoruba land are reserved for Yoruba people, if all the federal government job in Igbo land are reserved for Igbo people, if all the federal government job in Hausa land are reserved for Hausa Fulani people, you think Yoruba will want to get abroad? You think we will want to live abroad? No. We come abroad, we face discrimination. You want to get job because you are black, you can't get job. You want to get housing because you are black, you can't get it. The police will harass you and intimidate you because you are black. And you want people to continue to live Yoruba land. No, we have to fight and take back our space. That is what we must do. It's calling people criminals. Imagine all the high pop guys, all these high pop guys. Imagine Nnamdi Kanu is the head of the Igbo National Guard in Igbo land, the military. Nnamdi Kanu is the head of the Igbo National Guard. You now put all these IPOP boys, put them in the military in Igbo land to protect Igbo land, put them in the police in Igbo land. But Nnamdi Kanu doesn't want that anyway, because he's shouting for fraudulent Biafra. But imagine if you put all these boys in their own security, in their own region, you think they will be doing Uzobu Ori Babe, Uzobu Ori, or they will be making that ridiculous song. Holy, 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 Nnamdi Kanu is another savior, holy, holy, holy. This useless song they are always singing. People who are not reasonable. But put them in charge of the security of their region. There will be peace and tranquility there. Why must you put Fulani in charge of the military and police in Igbo land? All these boys that you go about and arrest in our university across Yoruba land, put them in charge of EFCC, put them in charge of police, put them in charge of the military in Yoruba land. Do you think they will be doing Yahoo Yahoo? How is it? So do you even have the common sense? Even when the English were colonizing us, our ancestors, our great-grandparents, they fought them and chased them out of our land. Why is it difficult for you to see that it is Fulani that are controlling military in Yoruba land? It is Fulani that are controlling police in Yoruba land. It is Fulani that are controlling immigration in Yoruba land. It is Fulani that are controlling custom in Yoruba land. It is Fulani that are controlling EFCC in Yoruba land. It is Fulani that are even controlling our courts in Yoruba land. Why? What is the job for our own children? What is that job? That's why the stupid police in England believe that we Yoruba, we don't have alternative to their country. Their country is stealing our wealth to build England. So they talk down at us, they threaten us with deportation, they ridicule us, they intimidate us, they harass us when we have English living in our own country, in Yoruba region. And we should treat them the same way. But we are not treating them because Fulani are in power. If you stop and search English, Fulani police will kill you for that. In Lagos, imagine Tinubu as the president. You will see how we're going to harass English national in Yoruba, because they are harassing us in their country too. He says shit. He call himself president. He speaks authoritatively. He doesn't have respect for the country because English support him. He says what it means, that is the language you understand. He was trying to explain. He said what it means for the IPOP is that I will go after them through the military and police and rid them of their criminal tendency. I have no regret whatsoever. Stupid man. Can Boris Johnson say that he's going to go after IRA and kill all of them? IRA that are fucking bombing everywhere in Northern Ireland. Is it possible for Boris Johnson and English? Boris Johnson as an English is even the majority in United Kingdom. English are 84% of the total population of United Kingdom. Scottish is 8%. Welsh is 4%. Irish are 3%. So English being majority, they control the Prime Minister of United Kingdom. Fulani are even minority, yet controlling the presidency of Nigeria because they have the backing of the English. Look at what he's saying, that he will go after hypo through the military and police and kill them. That's what he's saying. Because he's not from Nigeria. Buhari is from Senegal and Gambia. And you made him president of Nigeria. He's going to kill indigenous people. Imagine Tinubu as the president of Nigeria. He will address IPOP squarely. He will give them Indibo Republic. You will see that IPOP will reject it. They will reject it because the Biafra agitation is a gimmick. If Buhari is reasonable, but it's not reasonable, he knows the implication of the action. If he says that I will give the Indibo Republic that is limited to Anambra State, Imo State, Enugu State, Abia State, and Ebonyi State, plus the Igbo-speaking local government in Delta State and Igbo-speaking local government in Rivers State. I will give this to you as your Indibo Republic. Igbo will come down and say they are sorry. That will resolve the problem. They will not accept it because they actually don't want out of Nigeria. But rather than for him to be reasonable, he says he's going to go after them with the police and the military to kill them. Useless man. The English will be clapping for him because he's helping the English to suppress the nation, to suppress us and steal our resources to fund economic growth and development in England. That's why the English will be clapping for him. But you know why Buhari will not say to Igbo that I'm going to give you Indibo Republic? Because it will have a ripple effect. The Kanuri people will ask for the same thing. The Ijaw people will ask for the same thing. Igbo people will definitely say no, that they don't want Indibo Republic, but Ijaw people will grab Ijaw nation. Kanuri people will grab Kanuri nation. The Yoruba people want to go. They will just go. But Buhari will not say that. So what he's saying is that I will kill you, I will kill you, I will kill you. That's the nonsense he's saying. Because he doesn't want Nigeria to break. If Nigeria breaks, the greatest loser will be England. If Nigeria breaks, England will be the greatest loser because they are stealing your wealth. They are still enslaving you. You are still slave to the government in England through the Fulani. That's why he's saying he's going to kill, he's going to kill, he's going to kill. Now, this is the statement he said here. He said that IPOP is just like a dot in a circle. Even if they want to exit Nigeria, they will have no access to anywhere. That is a statement of fact. That's why we keep saying to you, Igbo people don't want to get out of Nigeria. Igbo don't want regional government. Look at all of their leaders. Chidaka, Agbakuba, Patutomi, Soludo, all of them, they rejected devolution. They are poor people. That is it. Now, let me teach you one thing in young Yoruba. If I speak, because I'm a full-blooded Yoruba citizen, I will speak to protect the interests of the Yoruba nation. If an Igbo is speaking, he will speak to protect the interests of Igbo. If a Hausa or Fulani is speaking, he will speak to protect the interests of Hausa Fulani. That is the reality. So when you are listening to an interview or you are reading an article in newspaper, the moment you get the name of the writer or the speaker, you should have at the back of your mind, if you are Yoruba and you are reading an article written by an Igbo, it will be biased. He will do things for his own people. So if an Igbo is writing about devolution, they will bring all the reasons why devolution is bad for Nigeria. Because they are poor, miserable, wretched people. They want to continue to use the wealth of the Yoruba people to fund their space. They have legitimate rights to do so. As Yoruba people, if you speak right, you have the legitimate right to advocate for the devolution of Nigeria back to regional government, because that is the only way your life will be better. You won't need to go to America. You will not need to go to England and be miserable in these countries. So that is something you need to learn. If a half Yoruba is speaking, you will know that it will be against the prosperity of the Yoruba nation. If a full-blooded Yoruba is speaking, it will speak to protect the interests of the Yoruba nation. So be guided. Look at this lady. Let me quickly mention her. Adeton Onojobi. Some of you will have heard about her. The very first time I came across her video was during the NSAS protests. She was crying, blaming Tinubu, blaming APC. Meanwhile, it was the Igbo that organized the protest to destroy Yoruba land. So the very first time I saw her video crying and doing all manners of things, I did not even take notice of that too much. So I just ignored her. Then the following day, less than 24 hours, I saw another video of this same Adeton Onojobi lady. She was dancing. Dancing. This was a woman that was crying and said that, oh, NSAS have killed 100 people, 200 people, 300 people, crying. The following day, she was dancing, jubilating, and she's moved on with her life. And I was saying, maybe because the people who died are not her family, and this is wickedness. But nobody really died anyway. That was when I noticed of her, that lady. I never heard anything about her again until the case of Baba Jesha came to limelight. I saw this lady with Iyabo Ojo and all of them saying, Nigba, Tomba file gbabe Baba Jesha, aye won ma baje ni, amada beru ni. That was when I saw this Adeton Onojobi again. And I said to myself, I've been arrested several times by the police in England, even though they have been described as institutionally racist. I've been granted bail. There are occasions that they have locked me up twice before. I know they are very discriminatory. But if somebody has been arrested for an offense, and if the offense is bailable, you grant them bail. And I was wondering, why is this lady and Iyabo just saying that somebody shouldn't be granted a bail? That I took notice of her, but I ignore her still. Until yesterday, or day before yesterday, that she was abusing Tinubu because it was alleged that Buhari said that somebody cannot sit in Lagos and be dictating zoning of APC. She came out and said she was very happy, very joyful, and then she was antagonizing Tinubu. Then I took notice of her the more. And I watched the video and I said to my colleagues in Wahawai that she's Igbo. Every one of them that I spoke to said, no, she's a Yoruba woman. I said, look, I've been doing this since a teenager. I've been studying about the Yoruba nation since I was in university. There are certain things that is embedded in my spirit. When I see something, I'm able to predict accurately. But sometimes I could make a mistake. But this lady, she's Igbo. Everyone said to me that she's Yoruba. And I said, let us do research about her. Boom. We found out that she's Igbo. Her name is Adeton Onojobi. Her alleged father, Peter Onojobi, from Ilishan Remo, married several women. Adeton Onojobi, that lady, her mother is Igbo. The mother brought her pregnancy to that man's house. That man adopted her as her daughter and married the mother, who happens to be Igbo. And everyone that I told originally, when I said that this lady is Igbo, they rejected that assertion until our research proved that she's actually an Igbo woman. But she goes by Yoruba name, Adeton Onojobi. And then one of my colleagues in Wahawai asked me, how did you have that insight to know that she's Igbo? I said, if you see a full-blooded Yoruba citizen, even if such full-blooded hates Tinubu, he will not denigrate Tinubu publicly, condemn him, be so antagonistic of Tinubu. That blood, that full-blooded Yoruba in him or her will make him to adjust. I said, that was why Ganiyu Adamu is always antagonizing Tinubu, because Ganiyu Adamu is a no-pay man. And I said to them, that was why Sunday Adeyemo Igboho quickly readjusted himself and embraced Tinubu, because Sunday Adeyemo Igboho is full-blooded Yoruba. I said, anyone that you see constantly, continuously attacking Yoruba interests, attacking Yoruba political leaders, is not a full-blooded Yoruba. Now, everyone now believes and supported the assertion that that lady, Adeton Onojobi, she's not a Yoruba lady. She goes, talking, everyone, useless people, talking for Yoruba people. People with divided loyalty will destroy Yoruba land if we allow them to continue to speak for us. They will. That lady, she's not. She's Igbo. Her father is Igbo. Her adopted father is Yoruba, but her mother is full-blooded Igbo. That is the reason she's always antagonizing the political interest, economic interest, and social interest of the Yoruba people. So I'm telling you, young Yoruba, when anyone is speaking in public, attacking Tinubu every now and then, it doesn't see anything good in Tinubu. You know that they are not full-blooded Yoruba. Wọ́n ní kò sí borí ṣe lè wà kó má mi. Tinubu ò fi gbogbo nǹkan dání, gbogbo èèyàn ni ò dá ní side kan, gbogbo èèyàn ló dá side kan. Kéèyàn dẹ̀ wo Tinubu títí kó dẹ̀ rí burúkú ní ara ẹ̀, kó má rí good kan. Wàá mọ̀ pé ènìyàn kì í ṣe full-blooded Yoruba. That's why tó ṣe rí Bode George, Igbo ló fẹ́, ló ń condemn. Ganiyu Adamu, ọmọ Nupe ni, ló ń condemn. Adébánjọ, ìyá ẹ̀ Igbo ni. Adébánjọ tó sọ pé ní Afẹ́nifẹ́re, ìyá ẹ̀ Igbo ni. Gbogbo àwọn tó ń attack Tinubu, majority of them ò kí ń ṣojúlówó ọmọ Yorùbá. Ẹ máa pretend to ní pé èèyàn kan ń lo Yorùbá ni. Àwọn àmọ̀ bá ṣe mọ̀, à ń ṣe research lórí wọn lọ́wọ́ báyìí o. 25 top non-Yoruba disguised as Yoruba people. You'll see that very soon in our political arena. The lady is not Yoruba. Adeto Onajobi kò lè deny wọn bí ìyá ẹ̀. Kò lè deny. Wo bó ṣe ń pretend pé Yoruba lọ. A lọ́mọ, a ní ọmọ Ilishan Remo, ọmọ Ilishan Remo lórí rọ́ ni bàbá ẹ̀ tó adopt ẹ ló ń jẹ́ Peter Onajobi. Bí tá ṣe rí sáà. Àmọ́ iye ọmọ tí yẹ ẹ̀ bí, ọmọ mẹ́ta ló bí. Ọmọ ogun school tó lọ O&A Academy gbogbo ẹ̀ ni wọ́n láti ṣe research ẹ̀. O kì í ṣe Yorùbá, olórí burúkú obìnrin yẹn, torí ẹ̀ ló ṣe máa ń ṣòṣì tó máa ń ṣe lórí íńtánẹ́ẹ̀tì yẹn. Àwọn Yorùbá tí wàá gba àwọn tí ò ṣe Yorùbá wọ́n ti gba everywhere. Máa ṣe bí lóyìnbó náà lèmi wà. Ṣé wọ́n bí yàrá ya anybody wà rí kó sọ pé òun fẹ́ kojú English nílùú ẹ̀. Wọ́n máa ṣí ẹ bó ṣe ń ṣojú ni. Nílẹ̀ Yorùbá ẹ wá fẹ́ sọ àwa full-blooded Yorùbá, ẹ fẹ́ sọ wá dẹnu ilẹ̀lẹ̀ full-blooded. Ẹ̀yin half Yoruba, ẹ ti take preeminence nínú politics wa, nínú business, even nínú religion. Ẹ̀yin half Yoruba, everywhere in the world, anybody with half, one man need divided loyalty ni. And they want control wa politically, and control wa economically, and control wa socially. Ẹ̀yin half Yoruba. So our full-blooded Yoruba, ẹ̀bùn ní ká forí sí, ìlú òyìnbó ká máa ṣẹ́rú. Tá bá tún gbọ́ ìwọ tó ń pè rẹ̀ ládé tó wọn ọjọ́ bí. Tí pẹ́pẹ́ ṣe bá tún ṣe tó bá tún sọ̀sọ́kúsọ sí Tinubu, ilẹ̀ máa ga jù ẹ lọ. Ilẹ̀ máa ga jù ẹ lọ. Ẹ̀yin half Yorùbá òṣì tẹ́ fẹ́ bà ilé ayé àwa full-blooded jẹ́. Ìlú òyìnbó la wà tá ń ṣiṣẹ́ kíṣẹ́ fún òyìnbó. Now let's continue what they said about IPOB. Buhari said that, and the way they are spreading all over the country, having businesses and property, I don't think IPOB knows what they are talking about. It's a subtle threat. It says to the Igbo, you want Biafra, but your Biafra is a dot in a circle, meaning that you are landlocked. Even at that, if you get your Biafra, you are going to lose all your businesses everywhere. But it's only making assertion for the Hausa Fulani land. It's not making assertion for Kanuri people. It's not making assertion for the Middle Belt. It's not making assertion for the South people. And it's not speaking for the Yoruba nation. But truly, if we have to go to war to break Nigeria, you Igbo, you will lose all your businesses everywhere. It is not because you are an entrepreneur. That's why you have businesses all over Nigeria. It is as a result of your criminal tendency. You just do crime. That is it. And your place is not economically viable. It is not economically sustainable. If an investor is coming from abroad, it's not doing anybody a favor. He wants to make profit. So he will be looking for where he will make profit. So what is he going to be looking for? Where there is huge market. There is no huge market in Ebola. Where there is raw material. This is erosion ravaged homeland. You have no raw material. And he will be looking for where he can get human capital to work for him or her. You lack all these three, Igbo. That is why your homeland is not sustainable. You can't blame the Yoruba. You can't even blame Hausa Fulani. You blame Zik that refused to invest in your human capital. Aulo invested in our human capital. That's why you see me. I'm different, totally different from Nnamdi Kanu that is always ranting like a mad idiot. That's not what I do. I'm an economist. I formulate policy. I know how to make a nation wealthy because I have been raised by a generation that appreciate human capital. You don't have Igbo. That's the reason. So no investors will go to Igbo land because you are doing kidnapping. He doesn't want to go and invest in a place whereby they will kidnap him or his staff. He won't go to a place where there's no raw material. He won't go to a place where he can't get brain power to work. So majority of you spread out because your region is not sustainable. It is not economically viable. So all this Okonjo-Iweala that is always shouting around the world that she's brilliant, tell her to be your premier if we have regional government. Tell her to come and do her magic in your erosion ravaged Igbo land. Tell Soludo, he's got PhD in econometrics. Tell him to be your premier to help to reshape your homeland. Go and bring Olisa Agbakoba. Go and bring Patu Tomin that is always ranting like a parrot in Yoruba land. Go and make them your political leaders. Let them use their brain, if they have any, to shape and reshape the future of your region. You don't have this human capital. That is your major problem, your greatest impediment. So Buhari that is threatening you, that even if you break out of Nigeria, your businesses and everywhere will be taken over. He is making reference to his region, Hausa Fulani land. During the Biafra war, Hausa Fulani people took away your properties. We did not in Yoruba land. And we know how you acquire these properties. You are not industrious, Igbo. You are not entrepreneur. You are the only set of people on this planet Earth who will move to a space with bedroom slippers and nylon bag. You come to Yoruba land and under 6 months, you have a shop. Why is it that you can't have a shop under 6 months in Igbo land? But under 6 months that you move to Yoruba land, you have a shop because you are doing crime. Our people are being killed by armed robbers. Our people are being kidnapped in Yoruba land. Infrastructures are being vandalized across Yoruba land. You're selling fake drugs. You move to Yoruba land within a year, you are able to rent a 3-bedroom flat in Lekki. How did you do it that you cannot practicalize the same feat in Igbo land? Because you're doing crimes. So when you claim you have property all over the place, you are the one developing all the regions in Nigeria. Why not develop your own space? Nobody is begging you to come and develop his region. You are doing crimes in Yoruba land, but you don't do crimes in Hausa Fulani land because Hausa Fulani will kill you if you do crime in their space. They don't arrest. They kill Hausa Fulani people. That's what they do. But we are not like that as Yoruba people. During the war, we didn't take any of your properties. So Buhari is telling you, and is threatening you anyway. He's actually threatening you for you to support Igbo. That's what he's saying. We're going to take your property. That's why I keep saying to Yoruba APC, if you want Tinubu to win, you know Igbo has never voted for us. If you want Igbo to vote for Yoruba for the first time in 2023, you have to shut down all Igbo shops in Lagos. Believe you me. Close them down. Ladipo market, shut it down. You practically say to them, move back to your space. Use computer village to build housing estate. That is when the Igbo, that is the language you understand. That is when they will take you serious, Yoruba, and vote for you. Igbo will never vote for you. They will not vote for Tinubu. If you think that, oh, if Tinubu should get the ticket of APC, you now put him in Igbo costume and he goes to Igbo land and say, hey, how do they say it? Kedu Odima, hey, I will do this. They will not vote for Tinubu. You locked Alaba International Market, you lock it down. Ladipo Market, shut it down. That Iwo Road Market in Ibadan, where they sell building material, lock it up. Yeah, they will vote for you. Shut them down. That is this. Shut them. Igbo will vote for you. So what Buhari is saying is giving them subtle threats that you are landlocked. Meanwhile, Hausa Fulani land is also landlocked. Buhari is saying to them that if you do gra too much, you will lose your business. You see that? So what do you think Buhari is doing? Buhari is telling them in 2023, you will vote for another Fulani. But you Yoruba, idiots, APC governors, you'll be going to Eze Indibo. That's not how you win election. Buhari has shown you how you win election. You shut down all Igbo businesses across Yoruba who will win the 2023 election. If you want to persuade Igbo, it's a research that I've done. YF has done this. We know how things roll. If you think that you can persuade the Igbo to vote for a Yoruba, you are idiots. Igbo won't vote for you until and unless you lock them out of Lagos. That's when they will see your power. Buhari has already given them the threat, saying that they are a dot in a circle. It's a signal. You are landlord. There's nothing you will achieve. All of your agitation is bullshit. If you want to go, you will become the Lesotho of Nigeria. And he gave them the second threat that they will lose all their businesses, all their property, telling them indirectly that if you do too much gra-gra, we will take all your businesses in Hausa Fulani. Yoruba, continue to say you want to talk down at these people, talk senses into their head to vote for Tinubu. Shut all the market that belongs to Igbo down across Yoruba land. It's simple. That is it. Look at the English. Do they give Yoruba the stay in their country? They continue to threaten us with deportation. Leave our country, leave our country. They threaten you with deportation. A lot of us will go to church and be praying to Jesus Christ. A lot of us will go to mosque and be praying to Jesus, to Muhammad. A lot of us will be saying, is it not threat? They are telling you that this is not your country. Leave. You will do everything to regularize your stay. So we should be able to tell Igbo, Yoruba land does not belong to you. We don't want your market because you don't vote for us. You will see that they will vote for you. So tell Tinubu to go and be wearing Igbo costume. He will lose in Igbo land. Buhari went on and said, in any case, we say we will talk to them in the language that they understand. We will organize the police and the military to pursue them. How can a president be saying that? Because it's Fulani. It's not indigenous to Nigeria. And the English have put them there to rule and govern over you. Who has always been voting Fulani? We have had 11 federal elections in Nigeria. 11, 1959, 1964. Count it. 1979, 1983, 1999, 1993, 1999, 2003, 2007, 2011, 2015, 2019, 11. Igbo voted Hausa Fulani 9 times out of 11. Right? The other 2 occasions, they voted for Jonathan because he was the sitting president. If Jonathan wasn't sitting president, Igbo will vote Fulani 11 times out of 11 federal elections. How come they've never voted for you, Yoruba? Because you think you have to embrace them. I have told the APC the secret to win election in 2023. Shut down Igbo market in Yoruba land. Simple. That is it. Look at the way we go abroad. Look at how they treat us in France. Look at how they treat Yoruba in France. Look at how they treat us in Germany. Look at how they treat us in England. Look, call your friends and family in England. Let them tell you the miserable life they live in this country. It's a shit life. You can sleep today and wake up in prison tomorrow because it is not your country. If I live in Yoruba land, it will be practically impossible, as a matter of fact, practically inconceivable for police to come to my house 10 times, arrest me and put me in handcuff, dump me in police cell on the allegation of somebody who gave back to my children. It is not possible, and that we don't live together since 2012. And I've been going through this arrest since 2015. And I do not live with this woman since 2012. But I've been arrested, going through arrest since 2015. It stops in 2020. Is it possible for me to be arrested like that in my homeland, Yoruba land? This is the shit we face abroad. So why do you not give the same shit to Igbo in Yoruba land? Even people who don't vote for you. Buhari has already told them, you will lose your properties in the north if you don't vote for us in 2023. It's a coded message. He said, you are a dot in a circle. You are landlocked. There's nowhere you're going. You better behave yourself and vote another Fulani in 2023. But you don't understand. You think it's just statement. you will see now that Buhari praised the South for removing themselves from the agitation of Biafra. You will see that all the noise about Nnamdi Kanu will go down. And one thing you should appreciate from this interview, Nnamdi Kanu has been saying since 2015 that Buhari is dead. Is Jubri. Is that Jubri that spoke in that interview? Is that Jubri? So why should you have to continue to believe in Nnamdi Kanu? This is the time for you to just withdraw yourself from his stupidity. He's just pushing all of you to your death. He said Buhari is dead. If Buhari is dead, who is going to be the greatest beneficiary? Tinubu. Because Tinubu's boy, he's not boy anyway, Tinubu's guy will be president of Nigeria or Shibadu. And Tinubu will have smooth sailing to the presidency in 2023. Buhari is not dead. Stop following Nnamdi Kanu. He's just bullshitting your life. He's going to stop. It's very easy for Nnamdi Kanu to stop. He can just make a public address and say, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry for everything that you have done. I've spoken to the president of Nigeria. We realize that we have not been doing legitimate things to carry on with our approach. I support and I believe President Buhari. I want to call on all the IPOP members that it is the time to make Nigeria to work. I apologize for everything I have done. Please forgive us. The Igbo nation would like to be part of Nigeria, but we want Mr. Buhari to give us equal rights, equal political appointment. End of story. You will see him in Igbo land. He's enjoying himself. Meanwhile, he has wasted a lot of you. Nnamdi Kanu, look, Nnamdi Azikiwe, he doesn't want Biafra. Ojukwu doesn't want Biafra. Nnamdi Kanu doesn't want Biafra. They know that their Biafra is Indibo Republic, and they don't like it because they are landlocked. So Nnamdi Kanu will come and just apologize for the nonsense he's done over the years, and he will say that he's supporting Buhari. And you will see it. Buhari will say, oh, he's my son. He's part of us. We have to forgive him. After all, we negotiate with banditries. After all, we negotiate with Boko Haram. He will come and have a big welcome. All his sins are forgiven. He's part of the member of society again. This is the game that the Fulani and Igbo are playing with you, Yoruba. You're stupid. They don't want a full-blooded Yoruba to be president of Nigeria. They are using your life for games. And God Almighty, in his infinite mercy, if God is not about to change the course of history for the Yoruba nation, why would not have been a reality? Yeah, my lawyer looked at my picture when I was in university. Some of the pictures you haven't seen before. When we discussed about this wife when we were teenagers, she was impressed. You understand? She was impressed. So we are speaking truth to you. Fulani, Igbo, Afro-Yoruba, and English, they don't want a full-blooded Yoruba as the president of Nigeria because we are the owner of the world that is feeding everybody. If you put a full-blooded Yoruba as the president of Nigeria, it will not allow Fulani and Igbo and English to continue to control our coastal area, to continue to control our crude oil, to continue to control the taxes generated in Yoruba. He will stop it. That is why they don't want it. So let's go on to some of the things Buhari was saying. He said, and I want you to listen, he said, take the Northwest, for example. It's referring to Hausa land. People with same language and culture are killing themselves, stealing each other's properties. Imagine the madness. That is the banditry that is going on in Hausa Fulani land that Buhari is referring to. But it's not referring to Hausa and Fulani as one. It's only referring to Hausa alone. He now says, well, I have now told the military and the police to be brutal. He's talking about the Northwest. The Northwest belongs to Hausa people. It is their land. Fulani came and killed their leaders and used the religion of Islam to steal their land from them. That is why all the governors in Sokoto, Kano, Kaduna, Katsina, Jigawa, Zamfara, and Kebbi State, all this Hausa land, all their governors are Fulanis, all their emirs are Fulani, their sultan is Fulani, all their senators are Fulani, all their House of Representative members are Fulani. The state assemblies, all are predominantly controlled by Fulani. Fulani who are not from that area. So the Hausa people are poor, miserable, and wretched. So they have resorted into what? Banditry. So Buhari is saying, I will kill you with police and military brutality. Because they are not Fulani. All the Alimajiri that you see, you think they are Fulani. They are Hausa people. You make a foreigner the president of Nigeria. How do you want peace? You will never have peace because you make a foreigner the president of Nigeria. He says, I have now told the military and the police to be brutal. Stupid man always killing people inside Nigeria because he's Fulani, he's from Senegal. He doesn't care if all of you are killed. From now, we will speak the language they understand, and in the coming weeks, you will get exactly what I'm saying is bringing Fulani from everywhere to be killing indigenous people of Nigeria. English supporting. You think English doesn't support him? They tell you about human rights. They are supporting. The government of England is the most corrupt government on planet Earth. It is still controlling you, Yoruba. You think slavery has ended because English left in 1960. They left in 1960 and put Fulani in power. Fulani who are from Senegal and Gambia. Fulani who are not from Nigeria. They have been ruling since 1960. Yeah, you think the English have left. English are still enslaving you. You call on Jesus Christ and Muhammad. What has changed? You don't pray to Jesus Christ and Muhammad when you want to solve political, economic, and social problems. You reach out to allies. But you pray to Jesus Christ and Muhammad for thanksgiving, for the salvation of your soul. When it comes to political, economic, and social sphere, you use your common sense. They ask him, you know, the chief of army staff died. He appointed another chief of army staff. There were two Yoruba who were the most senior, who ought to be appointed. He asked them to go on a compulsory 1 month leave. 29 senior military officers. He asked them to go on compulsory leave for 1 month. And he appointed the Fulani, and they were now asking him. He said, yes, in the military, only those who are always with the troop lead the troops. So are you telling me there are no senior Yoruba who has been leading the troops? What is he telling you? He talks authoritatively because he has the backing of England. English are the second largest exporter of weapons. They have MI5, they have MI6. This is the stupidity of the so-called Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò. It doesn't have clue. America has FBI that is protecting America inside America. They have CIA that is protecting America against any attack from outside America. The English has MI5 that is protecting England from inside England. MI5 is trying to kill me, you know, because I'm exposing the government of England for being corrupt, for supporting minority Fulani to suppress the Yoruba people. They monitor me everywhere I'm going. The English, they have MI6 that is protecting England from outside England. Where is our own FBI as Yoruba people? Where is our own CIA? The useless Ganiyu Adamu will be partying all over the place, asking people to donate money for him. He doesn't have any clue. Yoruba who are living abroad should work within our own security agency outside Yoruba land to be feeding government officials with information about the actions and activities of the government in England, of the government in France, of the government in Germany, of the government in Canada, of the government in Australia, of the government in America. We will be sending in reports to the government in Yoruba land to formulate policy, economic policy, trade relationship. Then we have young, brilliant Yoruba within Yoruba land, monitoring the activities of the Igbo, monitoring the activities of the Fulani, monitoring the activities of foreigners in Yoruba land, giving this information back to our government to formulate policy. This is something the man who called himself Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò should be doing, but he's partying all over the place, asking for money, saying that the government of Yoruba land should put him as part of the budget when you are antagonizing the government and you are from Nupe, useless man. So that is what he has done. He removed the top two Yoruba who ought to have been the chief of army staff and brought in a Fulani. And he has the boldness to say it. He said, you are saying someone who had gone through military and police training all his life should not be appointed to lead the military or police department he works with just because we must balance appointment. Nobody is asking him to balance appointment. We, as YY, we don't believe in zoning. I've been telling you, if Tinubu is the president of Nigeria, Yoruba will control all the appointment because we are the economic backbone of Nigeria. We are like the Caucasian in America and we are like the English in Britain. Nobody is asking him to balance appointment. The most senior military officer who ought to take over after the death of the chief of army staff were two Yoruba citizens. He removed them, asked them to go on leave. And he's saying this without boldness because he's got the support, the military support of the English. If the Yoruba want to do nonsense, English military will come and fucking be killing us. They did it when we took over the Apapa port. English Royal Navy came and killed Yoruba people in 1993 and 1994 because we're stupid rather than for us to reach out to America. You have a lot of Yoruba in America. Why can't you speak to Joe Biden? Were you not the people jubilating when President Trump lost the election? You Yoruba, you are waving American flag. My younger sister is part of them. Why don't you speak to Joe Biden and say to him that we want to have a relationship with America so that we can fuck English up, who have been fucking us up by supporting Fulani all this while? Why don't you speak to him? You'll be waving ridiculous flag. You're supporting Democratic Party. All of you are there. You are doctors, you are physicians, you are engineers, you work in American military. What stops you from forming a relationship with America so that Yoruba, your nation, will be the greatest beneficiary? Look at how Buhari is speaking. He asked Yoruba, who are the next to get the appointment as the chief of army staff. He asked them to go on leave. 29 military officers just to get one Fulani man. And he speaks about it authoritatively. Stupid people that you are. He's got the backing of the English. We're talking about guns. You're talking about Jesus and Muhammad. But dead. He went on to say, the system didn't restrict anyone from joining the military or the police. He's saying that the Yoruba doesn't join military and the police. What kind of bullshit is that? There are Yoruba in military, there are Yoruba in police. Saying Yoruba doesn't join the military and the police. So that's why Fulani are the only one chief of army staff. Ask him to decentralize the army. Fulani, control your own army. Appoint your own chief of army staff for the Hausa Fulani Regimental Armed Forces or Hausa Fulani National Guard. They have National Guard in America. Each state controls its own military. Why is it that Buhari will not allow each region to control its military? Because he knows that the Yoruba region will have the greatest military. Because we are going to work with America to help to train our military. That's all. Nobody will focus with us. But he doesn't want that. He asked 29 officers to go on compulsory leave to appoint a Fulani as military. Hopeless Yoruba Libra. They are telling us that we don't need the presidency. And we'll lose. So if Tinubu is there, is it Fulani that is going to put in the military? Is it Igbo that is going to put in the military? No, he will put Yoruba there. But they don't want him to be there so that only Yoruba will be suppressed and subjugated in Nigeria. He's talking about nonsense. He's saying that when the Yoruba don't join military and police, bullshit argument. Bullshit. 2 Yoruba were the most senior after the death of that guy in the plane crash. He removed them. And he's saying that we are better together as Nigeria. Bullshit. Let me say to you, I've said this to you. Tomorrow, if Tinubu start making drastic statement, unexpected statement, like Tinubu saying that Nigeria is going to divide without justice, Nigeria is going to do this and that. Tinubu is saying, I'm going to contest and I'm going to win. He's got the backing of the Democratic Party. And all of you Yoruba who are in America, idiots. Shebi, you said Democratic Party is better than the Republican. Why are you not talking to Joe Biden to help your nation, the Yoruba nation? Why? But you accept Fulani are not from Nigeria. Fulani are minority. Is it possible for African American who are minority in America to control over whites who are majority? It is not, right? How come Fulani minority are dominating everybody in Nigeria, dominating over Yoruba people in particular? Is it possible for the Irish who are minority, 3%, in UK to dominate over English, who are 84%. Is it a possibility? It is not. So you are foolish, Yoruba. Foolish, Fulani. Look at Buhari. It talks as if it's God. It's because English support him. They have the weapon. If Yoruba should protest, English will come and kill you with guns. They've done it several times to us. Several times. So we need America. If you don't get the support of America, they will continue to suppress us. You will continue to come to England and wash toilet for English. You Yoruba, with your PhD, with your master's degree and your Bachelor of Science, you will continue to live miserable life in England. You will continue to live miserable life in America. If you don't talk to America to help you. Stop condemning Tinubu. Video condemn Tinubu. Now let's talk about what he said again. He said, APC have no other strategy to win elections apart from mobilizing people from bottom to top as seen in our party membership registration, and we will continue to bring more people in. He has done that registration of the APC party to get at Tinubu. He wants the leadership of the party to be taken away from Tinubu. This is approved by the government in England. This is approved by Fulani. This is approved by the Igbo. It is targeted at not making fucking Yoruba the leadership of Nigeria. And it is not just ordinary Yoruba, it's full-blooded Yoruba. Nobody accepts mixed race. In America, the white people don't accept mixed race. They have divided loyalty. Your father is black, your mother is white. There will be divided loyalty. English don't accept mixed race. That is why the royal family rejected Meghan Markle. They don't. Magora continue to push half Yoruba forward, thinking that they will protect the interests of the Yoruba. Look at what Seyi Makinde is doing. Look at what Akeredolu is doing. Two fucking bastards who are governors in Yoruba land. They will amount to nothing. They will achieve nothing for you. When you put people with divided loyalty in political position, you will be fucked. That is it. So he's talking about their party, saying that their party is from bottom up. He says the party leadership has requested for 30 more days in which a date for our convention will be set. That will be the greatest politics you will see. They want to finish Tinubu at that convention. He went on to say, politics is about the people. That is another mistake he made. So he said, politics is about the people. If truly politics is about the people, the Igbo people are killing, destroying, protesting, saying they need a referendum on the Biafra question. Why not give it to them? If truly politics is about the people, give the Igbo referendum. The English government that is supporting you in their own country, they have been using referendum. They used referendum in 2014. They used referendum in 2016 for the Brexit, as well as for the Scottish referendum. If truly politics is about the people, why not give the Igbo the referendum they desire? You will clearly define the referendum that the referendum will only be limited to 5 Igbo-speaking states of Anambra, Imo, Ebonyi, Enugu, and Abia state, plus Igbo-speaking local government in Delta State and Igbo-speaking local government in River State. That is where the referendum will take place. Give it to them. This is what he said. Politics is about the people. That is what Buhari said. If politics is about the people, why are you saying that you are going to use the police and the military to kill the people that are legitimately agitating? To kill because you are Fulani. If you say Fulani are not powerful, I keep telling you, they just have the backing of the English. Take the presidency away from Fulani. All these Fulani herdsmen will run back to Senegal, including Buhari. He will disappear and live in Niger Republic. Take the presidency away from them. Because they control the presidency, so they control the federal civil service. They control the judiciary. They control the military. They control the police. They control immigration. They control custom. They control airports. They control waterways. They control borders. They control the religious. They control the National Assembly. They control everything. Because we run a centralized system, unitary system. Take that presidency away from Fulani. Buhari will never talk like that. Take it. That's why he's talking nonsense. On one hand, he says he's going to use brutal force to kill people. On the other hand, he said politics is about the people. If politics is about the people, since 1967, the Yoruba has been asking for a return back to regional government. Since 1967. Why not give it to them? If politics is about the people. Stupid man who is working for the English. He went on to say, by end of this month, we will have all our programs from now till I will leave office in 2023. I assess one thing. The day Tinubu secured the ticket of the APC, that is when the killings across Yoruba land will stop. The killing across Yoruba land is perpetrated by the Yoruba, PDP, Igbo, and Fulani because they don't want Tinubu to be president. He went on to say, he said, APC will continue to run Nigeria after my tenure. So, Abati, tell anyone who wants to be Nigerian president in 2023 to join the APC. Well, he's campaigning for his party. We are not bothered. He went on to say, when are you going to unban Twitter? He said, we are not there yet. I keep that to my chest. I actually support him in that. We have made our opinion known. I have been a victim of the irresponsible actions of Facebook and Twitter. They just unpublished my page. I used to have 150,000 followers. Facebook, one day, they removed it because Igbo were announcing in their radio stations, Radio Biafra, to go and be reporting my page. They just removed it. I struggle with them because they don't want me to use Adeyinka grandson. They want me to use my real name. I said to them, I use Adeyinka grandson for my political affairs. They remove it. They've removed more than 3 or 4 or 5 of my Facebook page. Twitter have shut me down twice. One by the police, anyway, who asked them. YouTube is far better. They've never shut me down before. Nobody has reported my YouTube account to anybody until the irresponsible police in England asked YouTube to terminate my account. And I lost all of my 520 videos. And they have copies of all of these 520 videos. They are yet to give it to me, and I will get it from them. Also, my Tumblr, where I have over 4,000 published work and about 99 unpublished research work. They just shut it down. But what am I saying invariably? We actually support the ban on Twitter. This Twitter and Facebook are socially irresponsible. They are deplatforming conservative voices. But it is left for Buhari. Maybe the English will talk to him and ask him to unban Twitter because it is the English that are controlling him because it's their proxy. We don't care. But what we want is that Twitter should not be unbanned until the end of the year, around December. So this will give ample opportunity to young Yoruba to use their initiative, think, and come up with something related to Twitter so that every one of us can subscribe to it. And then it is high time that Facebook should be unbanned. I don't think the Buhari government will ban, Facebook should be banned rather, not unbanned, because it's the most socially irresponsible social media platform, deplatforming conservative voices. I am not happy that I have 150,000 followers and all of a sudden everyone just disappeared. And people who have followed me since 2007 when I opened my account. So some of this, that this competition, this is something I propose. If I were to be Prime Minister of Yoruba land, all this social media, they will be like mobile phone. You can call from, let me use MTN to Glo. So if you have Facebook, there will be another application that is like Facebook with a different name, but you can cross posts. That will reduce the irresponsible heart of this social media. Like Twitter, there should be another app that is like Twitter. You can cross tweet, so you can, all of you check on each other. It's like mobile phone. MTN can call Glo, right? If we can do that for social media, all of this irresponsible Facebook and Twitter, they will behave themselves. We are unhappy that they are continue to attack conservative voices. They don't want us to speak. They don't want people. I'm conservative. I'm very proud of that. I'm pro-Yoruba. I am not a tribalist. I'm a nationalist. I'm a Yoruba nationalist because Yoruba is a nation. I'm an Akoko Yoruba. I've never lived in Akoko in my life. I don't project the interests of Akoko, even though that is where I am. So I'm not a tribalist. Why should you call me a tribalist? I'm not concerned about Akoko. I'm concerned about the general well-being of the Yoruba as a nation. I am a nationalist. I should be allowed to speak, as well as other conservatives. We might have opinions that are very, very drastic in nature because we want to protect our civilization for the future of our children. Yoruba land belongs to our children. We must hand it over back to them because we borrowed it from them. So we don't know whether the guy is going to unban Twitter or not. English dictates to Buhari. They will tell him what to do, but we will take power so that English will no longer dictate to our life and they will stop stealing our wealth. They use the Yoruba wealth to fund economic growth and development in England. They asked him about what will be your legacy. He said, I will accept whatever verdict Nigerians pass on me. I hope they will be fair. Well, I don't want to talk about his legacy. And then there's finally, he said about unemployment. He said, yes, I agree there is youth unemployment. I also agree that until the youth stop destroying investment in their domain, no other investors will come to their areas to provide jobs. I believe it's trying to disabuse your mind from shutting down Lagos. And that remains the biggest weapon of the Yoruba nation to gain the presidency of Nigeria or to break out of Nigeria. Lagos is the battleground. If we are able to shut down Lagos, we'll be free. But as long as Lagos continue to be a going concern, making money, creating wealth, we will never get Oduduwa Republic. So to get Oduduwa Republic or to get the presidency of Nigeria, we must shut down Lagos International Airport, Apapa Wharf, Tinker Port, and the Lagos Stock Exchange. These four infrastructures must go. We have to, because they are making money. The money belongs to the Yoruba nation. But where are we? A lot of us are dying in the Mediterranean Sea. A lot of us are dying in the desert. A lot of us are living miserable life in England, America, France, Germany. We're just doing shit life everywhere. Because all the money generated from our infrastructures, we are not benefiting anything from it. So Buhari is telling you, don't shut down Lagos. That's what he said. That's why he's saying that I agree there is youth unemployment. I also agree that until the youth stop destroying investment in their domain, no other investors will come to their areas to provide jobs. We have to shut down Lagos. Apapa Wharf is ours. It was built in 1913. Nigeria was created in 1914. We are the owner of Apapa Wharf. Go there. All the wealth there is being controlled by Igbo and Fulani. We shut it down. 6 trillion goes down the drain. Tinker Port was built with the wealth taxes generated in Yoruba land. Go there today. It is Hausa, Fulani, and Igbo who are controlling it. We live miserable life abroad. We live shit life abroad. We are miserable. We have no job. We have no immigration paper. We are living miserable life. Our children are doing prostitution in Yoruba land. Our boys are involved in cyber fraud. Yet our Tinker Port, our children can't work there. So you shut it down. You have Muritala International Airport. They've changed the name to Hausa Fulani name. Our children can't work there. You shut it down. Look at the stock exchange. When we established it, it was called Lagos Stock Exchange. They changed the name. Look at the place. They've taken it away from us. We shut it down. We don't need investors to come and invest in Yoruba land when every single wealth that belongs to us has been taken and appropriated by the federal government. So there is need to shut down Lagos. Don't fall for his gimmick. Nothing in Sokoto, nothing in Kano, nothing in Kaduna, nothing in Zamfara, nothing in Kebbi, nothing in Katsina, nothing in Jigawa, nothing. That is Hausa Fulani land. They have nothing there. People who have nothing are controlling the wealth in Yoruba land. They control the wealth in Lagos, Ogun, Oyo, everywhere. We have 11 custom commands. Our children cannot work there. Our children cannot work in our home police. Our children cannot work in our home military. It is Fulani who are foreigners and Igbo who are working in military in Yoruba land. That's why people like me are wasting away in England. That is why your brothers and sisters are wasting away in America, in France, in Germany, and everywhere else. So don't fall for the irresponsible statement of Buhari that we shouldn't shut down Lagos. It is the joker. Without shutting down Lagos, Yoruba land will never be great. And we will never be president of Nigeria. Sanwo-Olu said it. If Lagos falters, Nigeria goes down. That is our joker. We must shut down Lagos. It belongs to us. Lagos does not belong to the English, but the English are controlling Lagos. Lagos does not belong to Hausa Fulani, but Hausa Fulani are controlling it. Look at how Igbo are trooping down into Lagos. How many Yoruba are trooping down to Enugu? How many Yoruba are trooping down to Kano? How many Yoruba are trooping down to London? How many Yoruba are trooping down to New York? They won't allow us to go there, but they are moving Hamas into Yoruba land, moving to Lagos, taking it away from us. We cannot even afford to live in Lagos anymore. They have taken everything. Lagos is the battleground. If we do not shut down Lagos, we will never be great as a people. You will continue to suffer. You continue to work in England and wash their toilets unless we shut down Lagos. There's nothing in Hausa land. There's nothing in Igbo land. Look at this. Anambra, Imo, Enugu, Ebonyi, Abia State. Look, sit down. Tell me one thing that can be destroyed that will have an impact on Yoruba people. What can you destroy in Igbo land? Nothing. I live a miserable life in England with all my brain power. Imagine if I'm the managing director of the Nigerian Port Authority in Lagos, something that belongs to Yoruba nation. The Ijebu people and the Remo people fought the English over that port, 1892 war. But today, the port is being used, being controlled by Fulani. All the wealth there is being controlled by them. So Buhari is talking about investors. We don't want investors in Yoruba land until they allow us to govern our space. He went on to say something that is very interesting. He said, look at Lagos. The previous governor procured over 200 new buses for the people, and some youth said they are hungry and burnt all those buses without thinking twice. Tell me how that will bring job for them. But this is a silly man. It was burned down by the Igbo. We Yoruba conservative, we have never advocated for the destruction of private properties or properties that belong to the government of Yoruba land. We have never. We have been very specific. We said that Lagos Stock Exchange belonged to us. The name was changed to Nigerian Stock Exchange. Hausa Fulani appropriated it from us. We have asked that the name be reverted back to Lagos Stock Exchange. They have refused. We have asked that the Yoruba control it. It must not be controlled by Nigerians, not by Igbo, not by Fulani. They have refused. We will shut it down. We are the owner of the Muritala Muhammad International Airport. When we built it, it was called Lagos International Airport. They changed the name to a Fulani name. We said this connotes suppression and subjugation. We will not accept this. And moreover, that Lagos International Airport generates $140 million US every year. Our people that are living in Ikeja are facing kidney problem, lungs problem because of the CO2 emission that is coming from over 25,000 commercial flights that are passing through the airport. They don't have health care. They don't have free health care. We want to use the money to reinvest it back into the Yoruba economy. The federal government says, no, we will shut it down. That is a legitimate thing to do. Now, look at Tinker Port. That port belongs to us. It is our waterways. The seaport is ours. But the Fulani are taking the 4 trillion naira that is coming from that port. They take everything to Abuja to fund economic growth and development in Igbo land and in the entire north. We are suffering. That is why you see me in England. That is why you see your cousins in England, your brothers and sisters. That is why we're doing prostitution. That is why we're involved in cyber fraud, because they have taken the money that belongs to us. We want it shut down. And we said that Apapa Wharf belonged to us. We built it even before Nigeria was created. It is generating 6 trillion. We don't have jobs in Nigeria. We want to use this money to build our roads. We want to use this money to provide free health care. We want to use this money to do a lot of things in Yoruba land. But the Fulani have appropriated it since 1975. And we said it is wrong. The Yoruba need to control this. We will shut it down. That is the legitimate thing to do. It was the Igbo people, Igbo youth, who burned down the buses that belong to the Lagos state government. We are not antagonizing the Lagos state government. We want to take back the heritage of the Yoruba people. We want to take back our resources. We want to take back our wealth that has been appropriated by the federal government. This is what we are against. We do not attack private businesses. We do not attack private properties. We are not interested in that. We want back what belongs to the Yoruba nation. So don't fall for the gimmick of the Buhari. It says youth must assure investors that investment are safe in their community. Investment will no longer be safe in Yoruba land. We'll shut everywhere down, but our focus is Lagos. So we are saying to the investor that is talking to, no, we do no longer want to live in England. We face hell. We face discrimination in England. We don't have good job. Their police are intimidating us. They are harassing us. They are treating us like slaves. We don't want to live abroad any longer. So the investors should not come to Yoruba land because we will shut down their investment. They have to wait in their country, allow the political problem in Nigeria to be resolved. The only man that will resolve that political problem is Tinubu, because he is going to bring justice to Nigeria so that Igbo can arrange for their own investment. After all, when Boris Johnson was mayor of London, he was traveling to China to negotiate for investment. Nicola Sturgeon, the Premier of Scotland, she goes to China, she goes everywhere to negotiate for investment. So that is what should happen in Nigeria. We must be allowed to have a Yoruba Prime Minister who will negotiate for investment across the world for the Yoruba people. Igbo should have their own Prime Minister who will look for foreign direct investment for the Igbo. Hausa Fulani should have their own Prime Minister who will do the same thing. Kanuri people should have their own Prime Minister who will do the same thing. There is need for competition. We do not accept for the federal government to continue to take our wealth. So it is on the basis of this that I have to address you because of what Mr. Buhari said. But the key takeaway from Mr. Buhari's shocking interview is that he says he will organize the police and the military to be brutal to the people who elected him. He's saying that because he's a proxy of the English. He's working for the English establishment to continue to steal the resources of the Yoruba people and the good people of the Niger Delta. We must reject what this guy said. If not for the irresponsible English establishment who are supporting Buhari, believe you me, he would have been since impeached since that interview yesterday. But he will not. It is just for one reason only. Because the Yoruba nation, we do not have the support of the good people of America. If the Yoruba who are in America can gang themselves up, or you group yourself up for the good of your descendants, for the good of your future generation, you need to meet with President Joe Biden. You were the people who celebrated his electoral victory. Why not go to him? Ask him for one thing only, to allow the peaceful dissolution of Nigeria and for Yoruba to form a super special relationship with him, with his country, the good people of America. Do it for the future of your children. Because this nonsense cannot continue. We cannot continue to talk about killings every now and then. Everybody is striving to be president of Nigeria because all the power has been taken away from the regions and handed over to one man. That is why Buhari talked like a madman, an autocratic man. He's got the support of the government in England. They are the second largest exporter of weapons. They have weapons to kill everybody in Nigeria. They are still enslaving us. We are still slaves. Only America will help us to get out of slavery. Thank you very much.